wide receiver Austin Williams. Austin, you are looking great in the Mississippi State polo shirt. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yes, indeed. We're going to get right to business. We're going to kick off with questions with Paul Jones.
Austin, after a couple of weeks of walkthroughs and the first 2 days of training camp, just your impressions of the air raid offense as a receiver, and how different is that for you and the other guys compared to previous offenses?
I'm loving it so far. I mean, we're airing it out. A bunch of people are touching the ball. I mean, it's constant, just spreading out the ball, spreading the field out. Just, it's been a great impression. I think we're getting started to definitely get the hang of it and have some good consistency and feeling good about it. And I've just really enjoyed it so far.
Next up, Ben Portnoy.
Hey, Austin, I know you guys have had maybe some more downtime, at least, staying in apartments and things like that with everything going on. How have you been kind of spending your time, staying inside and, maybe not going out as much, that kind of stuff?
I just catch up on schoolwork, getting ahead, watching a bunch of film, trying to prepare the best I can for the season. Just, laying low, did everything I can to best abide by the rules and, just try everything I can to play ball.
Kind of in that vein, I mean, are most of you guys in online classes? And I guess how much does that make it simplify things for you guys?
Well, I started the online MBA program anyway, so it kind of just worked out for me, sort of. So that's kind of what I expected to do. But I mean, it's definitely helped. I love to be able to do class kind of on your own schedule. Just, I mean, obviously you got to prioritize your time and work at it, but it's been great having to do that with football, and I think it'll work out really well.
Next up, Brian Haydad.
Austin, I don't know if Coach Leach has talked about this or if you've had a chance to sort of sit and look at the production the receivers got at Washington State, but what do you and guys like Osiris Mitchell and Javonte Payton, who were here a season ago, and you didn't catch a whole lot of passes, knowing that there's going to be people catching 50, 60, 70 passes this year. How does that work for you in your mind, knowing that that's going to be that big of a jump in production for some of y'all?
I think it's an amazing opportunity. I think us and the whole wide receiver group as a unit, I think we're all extremely excited. We're working hard this summer, getting ready to be best prepared we can for this opportunity.
We'll go to Tyler Horka.
Hey, Austin, kind of going off some of the things Ben asked you about, how would you describe the team's overall mood, given that this training camp is probably unlike anyone that any of y'all have ever gone through? And when you do leave the facility, I mean, how much do you worry about where guys are going? It sounds like you're going home and doing the right things, but when you got 100 guys who could literally go do anything, just kind of what's the team's overall mindset in trying to make sure that you guys stay on the football field?
I think the team's overall mindset is extremely positive. I think we've done a really good job of trying to abide by the rules as we can. Our staff and everyone working in this facility, they're doing a great job of laying out rules and guidelines, especially within the facility of keeping us socially distanced, masks, sanitizing, the whole 9 yards. They're doing a great job. Outside of it, I think everybody's just doing their own part. I mean, it's how bad you want to play ball this year, and just you got to do your part and, stay healthy as you can so we can play.
We'll throw it to Joel Coleman.
Hey, Austin, we've heard since Coach Leach got here, in fact, I think in his introductory press conference, he talked about how he thought he could get this offense kind of installed in a week or two. We've kind of talked to some assistants that have kind of said it's a little bit simplistic, I guess would be the best way to say it. Is this, for your experience so far, has this been kind of a simple offense to start to pick up?
I mean, I guess maybe on paper, like X's and O's, it's not the most, or it's not the biggest playbook you'll ever have, but I mean, definitely a lot of intricacies within it. You have to get a lot of reps, get comfortable, make adjustments on the fly, whatever. But I wouldn't say it's kind of hard to say it's just simple, but it's not extremely complex, on the books offense, but it's extremely, it's got a lot of different intricacies within it.
All right, next we will throw it to Joe Cook.
How you doing, Austin? Just want to get your view on the quarterback production. Everyone's getting used to that air raid offense, but particular, what have you seen from Will Rogers? Young guy coming in, early enrollees, and he's able to least get used to the facilities and how you guys do things early on? How do you see him kind of pick up the offense and really compete in this quarterback competition?
I think Will's done a great job. Came in early, so he's been here a little bit. Got to do an off-season, weightlifting program. I think it definitely helped. But, came in, he's got a great work ethic. He's all ball. He loves it. He's always put in extra time watching film. I think he's done a really good job picking up on it, and you can see it's translating to camp right now.
All right, Austin, we have one person with a microphone problem. Can you hear me all right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. They'd like me to ask you, how comfortable are you going into this season, especially after having to change offenses again?
I'm very comfortable. I love Coach Leach and his whole staff and everything he's brought with him. I think everyone's all on board with it, and we're extremely comfortable and positive about it.
All right, we will go to Ben Portnoy next.
Austin, I know a lot of the tight ends are working with y'all and are now listed as receivers. We got a lot of guys now, 20-some guys working at receiver now with all those guys included. What's that been like, kind of incorporating them into the receiver room as well? And I guess what's that transition kind of been like?
I'd say it really hasn't been much of a transition, honestly. It's just been, we obviously have two different receiver coaches, inside and outside, so it's a little bit separated. So it's not like we have 20 people in one meeting room. So it hasn't been a big transition, honestly. It's went pretty smoothly.
We'll go back to Tyler Horka.
Austin, this might not affect you as much in the short term because you're kind of in the middle of your time here at Mississippi State. But the NCAA might be looking at giving everybody who plays this year an extra year of eligibility, no matter if you're a freshman, sophomore, junior, senior, whatever. What are your general thoughts on that? Do you think that, given conversations you've had with maybe some of those older players or younger players, that's the route they should go? And yeah, just kind of what do you think about that being a possibility?
I think it'd be a good opportunity, because we have no idea how the season's going to go right now. Obviously, we hope we play 10 games and go super smoothly. But if it were to go south, I think it'd be good for especially the seniors, give them another chance to come back and play some ball, work on their degrees, whatever it may be. It sounds really positive to me.
Go back to Paul Jones.
Austin, in the past, you played some of the slot, you played the outside positions, X, Y, and H. And how much does that benefit you coming in this air raid offense? I understand you're getting some looks in the slot. How much does your previous experience with that carry over to this offense?
It's been, I'd say it's carried over pretty well. I mean, just kind of having a good background, playing different positions, left side, right side, whatever it may be. I guess it's helped prepare me for what it is now. But I'd say, yeah. I don't know.
All right, we'll throw it to Brian Haydad.
Didn't realize I had another question coming. I guess we'll sort of follow up my question from earlier, Austin. Do you think that you can be a 50, 60, 70 catch receiver in this offense?
However coach sees me fit to use me, I'll be best ready as I can. I would love for that to happen, obviously, but I'll try to just do my role the best I can.
Joel Coleman, you got another one?
Yeah, I was just going to ask Austin, what have you seen so far out of Rufus Harvey and Tulu Griffin, some of those youngsters stepping in that, of course, like you said, there's a lot of receivers, going to be a lot of opportunity. Did any of those guys kind of stand out as guys that you could see getting on the field this year?
Yeah, I'd say all three, Tulu, Rufus, Jaden Wally. I mean, they're all extremely athletic. They all run really good routes, catch well. I mean, they made a good impression so far the way they can play some ball.
Ben Portnoy.
Austin, just a quick follow-up kind of on what Tyler was saying. I know you said, like, with everything going on, kind of all the uncertainty with it, how have you guys kind of stayed focused, or do you guys kind of just have to block it out and just kind of take it day by day?
I just go day by day. I mean, just control what you can control, really what it boils down to, and just stay working, do whatever you can to be best prepared for the opportunity to obviously hopefully play.
And I guess how much easier has that been now that y'all are back on campus and at least have been for a little while now?
It's been good. I mean, we've been up here this summer, so we've been up here kind of being comfortable. Obviously students are coming back, and that's a little hectic, but I would just try to stay the path, stay safe, stay out of the way, and just do what you can.
Paul Jones, did you have one more?
I'm good. Well, I got one more for Austin. You talked about Will Rogers. What's kind of your first impressions of KJ Costello and obviously Garrett Schrader and Jalen Maiden are back too?
Sorry, are you asking about KJ or everybody?
Basically, KJ and Schrader and Maiden.
Okay. I think the quarterback rooms look great overall. I mean, there's obviously a lot of guys who can really spin it. It's been really good competition. I think that's helped push everybody and try to bring out the best in everybody. So I think quarterback room overall has looked really solid.
Tyler Horka?
Yeah, Austin, just another quick thing to kind of go back to what Ben said, kind of going off of what I was saying. You mentioned the students coming back and being a little hectic. How hard is it to kind of live? I mean, I guess, are you living a different life now than you would say at this time in training camp last year? And how hard is it to kind of stay out of the way of all these kids coming back to campus?
As in training camp, we're always kind of locked down, especially how it's all ball. But, general big picture it's definitely tougher. You got to make some more conscious decisions not to put yourself in crowded areas, whatever it may be. And it's different, but it's kind of like a sacrifice. It's like, what do you want to do? You want to play ball, you want to do those other things. And it's really not much of even a decision for me. So you got to lay low and do what you can.
And then going back to football, Errol was just up here and called practices a frenzy and all gas, no breaks. How would you describe your first two Mike Leach practices?
I said it's pretty accurate. We're rolling the whole time, extremely productive. Nothing's just done to be done. Everything has a point and something behind it. I love that. It's been all gas for sure. But it's definitely, I think it's been great. It's brought the best out of everybody.
All right. Maybe have time for maybe one, maybe two more questions for Austin. Anything left out there? All right. If not, Austin, you just received more questions than the linebackers combined. Thanks for the help today. Enjoy the rest of your night.
Of course. Thank y'all. Have a good one.